All right, everybody, welcome into the Pugs and Parker Pillow Talk Extravaganza, heard exclusively here on the Radio Misfits podcast and now streaming network. This is the second of two streams that I do every day. You come around noon o'clock, 12. That's 12 for you people who don't speak English. That's the High Noon Show. High Noon comes on at 12 Central Time every Monday through Friday. We do hot topics, we do trending topics, current events, headlines, all of the things that you need to know in order to make through your day without looking like an idiot. When people say, "Hey, did you hear about?" You can say, "Yeah, you know the spiel. I do it every day." Let's bring in James Parker. He is the partner here. Look at him go! Look at him go! The people's champ. The people's champ right there.
That's what they say everywhere I go. Yeah.
All right, you hear that buzzing in the background?
Do I have a buzz? Is that my buzz?
No. Do you hear the buzz?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, what that is those are the Kyiv live cams that I've pulled up, and I pulled them. But I haven't had them up the last couple of nights.
Well, let's see.
There's nothing to see other than rain, but the reason that I've got them up is because, man, oh man, there was some action happening a bit earlier. There was the sirens just went off. Actually, now about a half hour now. The sirens were going, all that stuff. And then there massive explosions earlier tonight. Look at the weather. The weather looks pretty damn crappy. Can't really see anything in camera 2 other than like a faint light in the center. That's because the city's blacked out. Camera 1, I don't know what that is. Nova Kakova. I don't even know that that's Kyiv. That might be somewhere else. And then we seem to have a big bird's eye view of Kyiv City. Looks like it's raining, snowing. It's doing something there.
How cold is it there?
It's cold. It's still winter. Hold on. Let's see. What is the temperature?
Because we saw that Canada video where it was full of snow, and I don't see Kiev being full of snow. Remember where the naked dude got tackled?
Do I remember? I'm obsessed with it. And we're going to be watching it again today. We've got more on that. Hold on. What is the temp in Kyiv? I thought maybe Kyiv would come up. I thought maybe more people would be interested in that.
Well, you got to say Kiev.
No, you don't. It is 33 degrees Fahrenheit currently in Kyiv.
Okay, that's cold. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just have you know that the weather thing has it listed as Kyiv, K-Y-I-V, not K-I-E-V, not the Russian spelling, not the old Soviet imposed upon the people, even though that's not how they pronounce or spell their town's name. Like you were raised during the Cold War or something with that pronunciation. So disrespectful in this time of war. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to turn it down a little bit because I got it cranked up all the way, and that just sounds like somebody's vacuuming.
Kind of.
All right, so we'll bring it down. We'll be able to hear if they start up again. Did I tell you about my situation the other night? No, of course I didn't. The other night, I fell asleep with the live cams on the flat screen in the bedroom when I was laying down to go to sleep, and I fell asleep with the live cams on.
Oh, okay.
And I was having this crazy dream, man. It was straight out of Red Dawn, where the tanks and the planes were flying over and they were bombing the hell out of Highland Park. Oh man, it was like really vivid. And I woke up and it was because the sirens were going off at like 4 a.m. I'm sleeping and I have the live cams on and the TV's going. And that influenced my, James, they say the dreams that you remember are actually from the last 15 seconds. It's when you're coming out of REM state. That's what you remember. Apparently you have hundreds of dreams every second that just pop in. They're thoughts, really. I don't know. Have you ever done any real study into what dreams are? Dreams are fascinating. So then the dreams that you can recall, and the reason that people don't recall many dreams, the dreams that you can recall are the ones that occur just before you wake up. And you just assume that they were from hours ago when you were sleeping, but they're not. They're like the most recent dreams, the most recent thoughts that were running through your head. So quite literally, the sirens going off on the TV while I was sleeping influenced a dream where I was being bombed right here. Freaky. The mind is freaky.
All right, so what's your plan? What happens if the bombs start falling? Do you come out here to my place?
Oh, here in Highland Park?
Yeah, because Dallas is a hot spot. They would bomb it. It would be on like their
No.
top 10.
How are they gonna bomb? They ain't gonna bomb it. First of all, there ain't no bombers. There ain't no ships that are gonna get within 1,000 miles of our coastline. Their ICBMs do not work. I mean, come on, they ain't gonna, unless
There could be a nuclear sub that's just off the coast of Galveston. They're going to lob a handful of nuclear warheads. It's going to hit Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio.
Nope.
It'll hit those refineries all up and down Port Neches.
Never gonna get that close. Never get within bombing range. They won't. They just won't. We've got the greatest military in the world, baby. We spend our tax dollars on something, and I have to convince myself that it's to stop Russian subs from getting within 1,500 miles of our coastline.
Well, see, the funny part about the military is it's not that it's good at things. It's just good at blowing stuff up. It's good at screwing things up.
Spending money.
Yes, it's very good at that. It's not necessarily it's so comical. It's called the Department of Defense when it hasn't played defense since what? The mid 1800s?
1812. Yeah, the War of 1812, right? That would be the last time that we were invaded. That was the last time that we had to defend ourselves against somebody.
And even then, we called it the Department of War. We were more honest when it was actually a defensive institution.
We're like the Bill Walsh 49ers, man. We're all offense. We're just we're chucking it. We're chucking it down the field with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. We're just bombs away. No defense being played. All right. Do you have I didn't check. Did you give me one?
Oh, I did, but it was at like the last second. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that means it's time. We do this every night. Let's do a little monologue. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It takes 3 seconds to cue this now. It takes 3 seconds to play. All right, everybody, please welcome into the Comfort Nest Guest House located high atop the Western Center compound in beautiful. Is that you making that noise, or is that bombs?
No, that's me hitting the microphone with the.
Okay. Located high atop the beautiful one. You get it. It's James Vladimir Parker.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. All right. Ukrainians are waiting 8 hours to buy groceries, and that's in the express line.
God, you can't start with such a quick joke. You got to give me a little something. Even if you're just doing thank you. You got to give me you got to buy me at least 5 seconds on the first one. My God, like
you
right
need to
now,
get these in your sound effects machine over there. It's not like you have like all day to work on it.
It sounds to you like I'm just ranting, but I'm not. I'm actually buying time so that I can queue up the next one. Now go.
New research shows that owning a pet slows mental decline in elderly people. President Biden has a dog and a cat, which explains why he's so incredibly sharp all the time. Today is the first day of Lent. I decided I'm going to give up my New Year's resolution. Was that too fast?
All right, that's the joke. That's too quick. You're too quick, man. Okay, go ahead.
I get that a lot, yeah. The Catholic Church says alligator meat is okay to eat for Lenten Fridays. But do you know the best way to cook an alligator, Pugs?
I do not, James. What is the best way to cook an alligator?
The crock pot.
Whoa.
In Tacoma, Washington, a man is wanted for robbing a donut shop, or as police call it, a hate crime.
Oh, look at that. Why didn't that fire? Why didn't fire? Donuts.
Cops.
Donuts.
Cops like donuts, and that's funny. March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Experts say if you're addicted to gambling, you can be cured, but the odds aren't very good.
I don't want to boo that one.
You can boo it.
I like that one.
Sometimes it boos the compliment. And finally, Pugs, finally. Thank God. Happy birthday to John Bon Jovi. I don't want to say he's getting old, but he and the band have a new song called Living on a Stair Lift.
There it goes. That's the template. Anytime a rock star gets old, you just take one of their songs and you change that. So please, you're telegraphing these jokes, but we like it. That's what you get.
No, because then the beauty of that joke comes: what songs are you gonna make fun of? How's he gonna?
Well, yeah. No, absolutely, without a doubt. All right, hi everybody. I see everybody's filling in nicely. We get some more people in here. We got anybody new? We got Bill Folk. Good to see Bill. Good to see Al. Good to see Byron. Good to see Will. We're missing the ladies. Where are my ladies at?
No,
where
Leslie?
are my ladies at? I don't know where they're. All right, let's do us a little moment of joy. Why not? Here, I'll close that, and then I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to leave this, and then we're going to do a moment of joy here. This is a good one. This is a good one. It's a good one whenever we. Oh man, come on now, come on. Nope, made it too big too soon. All right, here we go. Here's your moment of joy. A little something to make you feel good. A little something to watch. A little something for us to break down. Look at you know what this is gonna be, don't you? This is gonna be kids dancing. Who doesn't like kids dancing? A moment of joy. And it's look at him go. Look at him. Oh boy. He is all jacked up on orange slices and juice boxes. He is all he needs are the glow sticks. What's going on with this girl right here? She's like the pretty blonde. She can't be bothered, right?
Bro, it's not working on my screen.
It's not working. How's it not working? Oh my God.
I see he's going places, and I see a still frame, but I don't see the video.
It's not moving? How's that not moving? How's that not moving? Hold on. Oh, did it disappear?
Mm-hmm.
It did? I shared the wrong one. That's why. All right, here we go. This is what happens when I got too many damn windows open. All right, take two. Look at him go. Look at that guy. Ladies are all just walking right by him.
It's killing it.
She's too cool to dance. She's game. My man needs to turn around. He's got one right behind him. He's got. Look at her. She's all dancing. He doesn't care. He's just Danny Terrio, the dancing machine. He's not out there for the women. He's out there for the love of the dance. Did you see that? Did you see? Look at her give the little kick. Tell me that's not a six. That's a little kick. She's like, hey, turn around, man. I'll dance with you. He's like, I can't be bothered. Now she's dancing alone behind him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He kind of looks like that newfound freedom you get after your first divorce, you know?
Yes, he's out there having a divorce party. That's what he's doing. So what's new, James?
I want to ask you personal questions.
Oh, I can answer some personal questions. I love personal questions.
So I feel like I'm kind of going through this middle-aged thing to where me and my wife get along fine, and that's good. It's not a complaint. But I'm just kind of now noticing that this is probably going to work out, and I'm not going to get to go through the whole process that I've seen so many of my friends go through, some of my mentors and, my elders and family members. They get to go through like the divorce.
You mean transition from a man to a woman? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's you're not going to get that from me.
No,
okay.
No.
Okay.
No, so hey, Bob, are you going through a divorce now? Because look, it seems like there's a whole like circle of life that I'm not completing the whole circle because I'm going to be the one idiot that stays with my wife and never gets a divorce.
If you're talking about the unchained sense of freedom that you get once you get over the sadness, because, the society programs a certain degree of sadness into you after the loss of a divorce. But then, move forward like a year and a half and, you start to really appreciate, but you got so many kids. It's different for you because your whole life is different. There is a sense of I do not like being married. That's what I'm an only child. I have always been an only child. So I'm different. I'm built different. I completely embrace the concept of dying alone. That sounds fine to me. My landlord will find my rotting, stinking carcass 6 weeks after I pass. And that's fine. That's fine. because at that point my kid won't be talking to me. So go ahead. What are your questions? What are you looking for? I can walk you through this.
Well, okay, so the big questions or the big divide, you've been on both sides of it, because getting divorced without a kid is one thing. It's like a clean break. They almost did you a favor by not stringing you along any further than they did.
It's a glorified breaking up with your high school girlfriend. That's it. You were with your high school girlfriend for 4 years. You go off to college and you break up. That's what divorce without a kid is.
So, and then there's divorce with the kid, to where it's like, I don't matter if y'all get along or not. You are going to be seeing this girl for the rest of your life. This girl is going to be in your life for the rest of your life. And there's no such thing as a clean break. Like, when's the last time you talked to your first wife? When's the last time you talked to your second wife? Totally different story, right?
For most people, yeah, but not necessarily in my case, but yeah.
When's the last time you talked to your first wife?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, not as much as, we did at a point, because she's happily remarried and she's got a fan, and so yeah, I don't want to be lurking, but if I needed to talk to her, I could. There's like nothing between us. We're very friendly, I'm very friendly with my son's mom too, but that's more, how would I describe it? I don't know, more like I would say that my relationship with my son's mom is friendly and loving and caring and all of that stuff, but it's more like entirely oriented around the kid. Whereas any relationship that I have ongoing with my first wife is just because we're friends, just because we like each other, just because we enjoy each other's company. And that's not to say that I don't enjoy my son's mom's company. It's just that it's a different dynamic because the kid is involved.
So why are you never getting married again?
I'm a terrible husband. I am selfish. I need to be alone. I am not good at the concept of sharing the entire life with somebody. I despise sharing a bed with somebody. I know that's terrible. That's like a big problem when you're married. That's a big problem.
You don't like having a hot chick there?
That you don't have to be married to have a hot chick. Sometimes, if that's something that I would want, you can get that. But what are we talking about here? I mean, I'm a man in my 50s. The hot chick thing has kind of passed me by. I mean, the only way to get a hot young chick now would be to like go on one of those weird Russian bride sites, and that's not me.
I hear there's some Ukrainians looking for a new home.
Yeah. And that is not to say that like any woman I would be involved with wouldn't constitute hot, but I think you're describing, like the young marrieds kind of thing. When you get older, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not like the same thing.
No,
you want just company,
Exactly. But man, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to it. I would prefer to have beautiful woman right next to me.
Will says he's not buying it. Everybody wants to be loved. Well, I am loved. I feel very loved by a great number of people. I don't want to be. I think what Will might be getting to is that everybody wants to be in love, which no, it's not. It's never. You got to understand, I was raised an only child of a single mom. It was just me and my mom, and we went our separate ways at night. I spent my entire life alone in my room. Fine, totally fine. Because when you don't know anything else, it's not like, oh, that's so sad. He's been alone in his room. Wouldn't he like brothers? Like, in theory, maybe, but in practice, I'm very selfish. What, is he going to want to watch something? Because no, I watch what I want to watch.
So when you were married, did you sleep in separate beds?
No, but we went to sleep at different times, and that was a big problem. And that was only because the concept of, okay, let's brush our teeth and go to bed together at the same time is so weird to me. That is just not, I'm not built for that. So, my wives would go to bed 3 hours before me, and then I'd come into bed. I'd lay on the couch and watch TV or, whatever.
Man, you don't have the constant desire to, like, if something funny happens, like turn to the person next to you and be like, did you see that?
I do 2 streams a day, and I have Twitter. I can tweet. I can when I do that, I tweet it out to my Twitter people, and
That's
I
not
get
a
in.
substitute.
It no, through your lens, it's not a substitute, but for me, it's what is the alternative is there's a lot of downside. I mean, just because you have a certain experience with a particular setup doesn't mean that everybody has that exact same experience. I don't. I have plenty of no, I mean, what you're getting at is do I want to be in a relationship? And not really. No, I mean, if it happens, it happens, but like I said, a couple of years ago, I was on that match.com and I had a lot of fun, but then it got got boring. It was like, you know,
Okay,
yeah.
so I also see another behavior pattern with so many of my friends who've gotten divorced. And I'm never going to get to participate in this, but when they do get divorced, they go through this streak for about a year or two where they're just going through the dating apps or the hookup apps is really what they are. It's not about dating. And they just rack up as many trophies on the wall as they possibly can for about a year or two. And it doesn't seem to matter their age. Like, there was a friend of mine that was 50, and he just went through that phase. And I'm never going to get to do that, am I? Is that a given?
Well, I mean, I've got a couple of different with my son's mom, no, because there was a lot of things going on in my life and I was in a very dark and very bad place. With my first wife, yeah, I went nuts because I got divorced and moved to Dallas. And I definitely jumped in with both feet. I dated a lot. I had a whole lot of, I've been married for the last, and so it was cleansing, I guess. But again, that wasn't as an older guy. That was as a guy who was 30 years old. So, and to you and me, 30 years old, it may seemed old when we were 21, but it's not now. When you look back, would you love to be 30 again? I mean, just to have
I guess.
well, oh no, really? You disagree? See, I would. I would love to be 30 again. If we could just experience 9/11 again. That's my wheelhouse. No. Um,
Jeez.
but it was like that, yeah, like that period was it was fun. It was, I was going out with I had a running posse of friends and we were wreaking havoc and it was basically like being a frat boy again. But I was young. When it happened to me again in my, at 40, that didn't appeal to me. I wasn't into that. So,
Okay. Okay. So, like 10 years ago, we did a segment on a show in New Orleans where you're talking about how skewed and ridiculous the custody system is
mhm,
for divorced men in the United States. And now that you have 10 years of context to build on that, do you still feel that way?
I do. I feel that I have I'm in a really unique situation where my ex-wife isn't my son's mother isn't vindictive at all and I'm not vindictive towards her and we have basically everything we agreed to on paper is out the window and it's just can I do this? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just like it's totally we have no issues. Knock on wood. I mean, the kid's about to be a punk. He's about to turn into a teenager. So we'll see what happens then. But no, yeah, absolutely not. I mean, I am. I rarely use this word, but I suppose it applies. I am blessed in that regard. That my son's mother is incredibly generous and we can always work things out. We have not had a fight in 7 years, 6 years. So, where it was like something over the kid. It's just everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. But it only works out if the girl is cool. If the girl wants to be vindictive and
Right.
use it as a bludgeon against you,
Yeah.
how bad can it get?
Here's my advice. Here's my advice, and I've given this to other people who have gone through this. When you're going through a thing, you got to go into this. You got to check your ego. You got to throw a saddle on your ego, and you got to. I know it's a cliche, but what's in the best interest of the kid? Does the kid want to be growing up with two parents who are always talking shit on each other, or does the kid want to grow up with two parents who seem totally cool with each other, and that's just something that happens. That's how we've been able to navigate it. But the advice that I always give my friends who are going through these kinds of custody things is be prepared to take losses. Take losses every once in a while. Just accept that you're going to ask for something and maybe it won't go your way and you won't get it. Take it cool. And if you're with somebody who's cool, and hopefully you married somebody who was cool in the first place, it just didn't work out, they will remember that and it will be reciprocated. And I've been lucky to have that be the situation. Take your losses.
How expensive is it?
Not very. I mean, it is, there's child support and, but she has, I don't pay nearly as much as I should. And should I start making more money, I'm totally on board with the idea of giving more. But, I mean, it's it's money, it's yeah, that back when I was railing against the system was set up where the amount of support that I would have had to have paid was based upon my income the last year that we were married. Well, the last year that I was married, I had a really good job and I was making a whole lot of money. And then that went away. And it was like, well, there's no way that I can pay, based on that. And she was completely understandable. She's totally cool. She didn't, there's no no, yeah, I'm very lucky. I know that I'm very lucky.
Is this part of the reason you don't want to get married again, though? Is because the possibility you might go through that process?
I think you're framing it wrong. I don't think that I don't want to get married. I have no real need to get married. I would absolutely get married again. If something happens, and I find this person that I get struck by, I would absolutely get married. I'm not one of these people going, I'm never getting married again. I'm just fine. I'm just fine with this being what it is. And
sometimes you see like a romantic comedy or one of these Hallmark movies, and you're like, "Oh, I wish that was me."
Yeah, I don't sometimes see rom-coms. I'm not a come on, you know me? The whole reason I hate the movie Jerry Maguire is because they duped me into thinking it was a movie about the sports agency business, and it turned out to be about a relationship. Same reason I hate Titanic. I went to that damn movie thinking it was about a boat hitting an iceberg, and it turned out to be 3 hours of just two people I didn't care about falling in love. No, I'm not. I am not a romantic guy. That is another problem that I have. I am not a romantic guy. And should I find myself in a relationship, that might be one of the things that I work on.
Odds. You want to give me like 50%, 60%, 70% odds of you
Odds
getting
on
married?
what? Are you getting divorced?
No. You getting married again?
Because I would say it's probably the same as you getting divorced. I'd say 60-40 in favor of.
Why did you get such low marks?
You ain't out of the woods yet. You think you're out of the woods. You ain't out of the woods. I know that you're happy, and I'm glad that you're happy, but you ain't out of the woods yet. You are still a young man. What are you, 44, 43?
Yep, 44. Me and Tom Brady, same age.
Woods, man. You are not out of the woods.
Yeah.
You have that 50-year-old renaissance where things start. You're going to get a really good, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a really good job. You're going to make all kinds of money. You're going to be going out to all these fun things. Cocktail waitresses are going to be sitting on your lap, and your wife's going to be blowing up your phone, bitching, and it's going to start fighting. And suddenly, here's what happens. I'm not projecting that this is going to happen. I'm just saying how these things happen. You will suddenly not want to be with the person who you were with when you weren't superstar James Parker. When you become superstar James Parker, you're going to find yourself only attracted to and wanting to be around people who only know superstar James Parker, not whatever struggles you and your wife have been through. That's really what happens when one of the people in the relationship take off, whether it's the woman who takes off or the man who takes off. It's hard to have your ego blown up every single day and then go home to somebody who remembers when you were counting change out of the change jar. That's why people dump their first wives when they get famous.
Yeah, luckily I think I'm going to stay a loser though, so I won't have to confront that.
No, you're not going to stay.
Okay, what do you think of Jeff's observation here? Couples with 4 kids usually get divorced after the third one is 18. Is that a thing?
Let me ponder that. Let me think about that. Is that a thing?
Okay, think of couples you know that have had 4 kids.
You're the only person I know who has 4 kids. That's why I call you the man in the shoe.
Okay.
I don't really know. That's a lot of kids to me. That's
Yeah, my sister has 3, so we're doing good.
You're doing fine. Yeah, cousins. That's good. They got cousins. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing, Jeff. It might be. Everybody has different observations based on their own life experience, and maybe that's been what Jeff has seen. What's going on here? You got some problems at home, or
No, doing just fine. In fact, I've become more calcified in my position in the other direction because the thing I really like about marriage vows is it's till death do you part. And so if you take it literally, there's no divorce. If I'm not saying we have to stay together forever, we just have to stay together till one of us dies. Right?
however that may occur?
Yeah, and so if she falls down a cliff and while we're out on a nature trail, I can make it look like an accident, and I got to watch out. The same thing for me. She could make it look like an accident too. So
You've learned a lot from that Brian Laundry dude. He's taught a lot of people, how what not to do. So you now know. You now have a
right,
checklist of what
but
not to
but
do.
but if she leaves me, then I either have to kill her or kill myself because there's no other way out of this. One of us has to die.
Yeah, and if you kill her, you're not going to get away with it. That's the thing. Nobody gets away with it. I mean, everybody
That's the
thinks.
point. Isn't to get away with it. The point is you don't break the vows.
Well,
I swore an oath, Pugs.
okay, but then you kill your wife, you go to jail.
Okay.
Okay, and then you got 4 kids who have to go visit dad. And you know what your daughters are going to end up if they're like 15, 16, having to go
They're
visit
going
dad?
to end up respecting the hell out of marriage vows.
Okay, that is one way to
Right.
look
I
at
will set the ultimate example. When look, these
it.
words are not a joke. When you say things in front of your family and God and everyone in attendance, then you got to live up to that. It's very important.
I want to make sure that my position is very clearly stated. I'm not opposed to marriage. I'm not opposed to a relationship. I am done chasing. I am done going to bar. Like the last 100 times I've been to a bar, I don't think I've even noticed how attractive the bartender is. I go to bars to watch games and hang out with my buddy. Well, of
Wow.
course, I'm being a little but you know what
Sure,
I'm
sure.
saying?
It was a shocking thing to say, though.
It was, yes. Yeah, I don't go out. Like I would never go to a club now. If you see me in a club, somebody put something in my drink. There's a reason. If
You're in the
I'm in a
wrong
club,
club. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Restaurants, maybe the bar at a restaurant, sports bars, that kind of thing. But not, yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I don't have any friends that are divorced. I'm like leading the league.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think.
It's an anal divorced.
No,
Then
no.
he didn't have a first wife.
Oh yeah, but he's married now. I mean, he's
Oh,
got
you
a
mean
first
currently divorced? Okay.
currently divorced. Yeah, I don't have. All my friends seem to be able to make it work. We were all out in the field at the same time. They were all able to make it work. I am the disappointment.
Yeah, I've just been having some existential thoughts because my dad's been having all these health problems, and and this came up with the wife, about me killing her, me killing myself is the more likely scenario.
Oh, don't do
But
that.
like my dad, like when you go over there, sometimes he's just like laying on the couch in shorts and no shirt, but he's got like the oxygen tube around his head with the little thing that's go up his
Oh,
nose, and he's had like 6 heart attacks or whatever, and
right.
he's been in and out of the hospital. He doesn't have a whole lot of energy, so he's just like this lump that watches Paramount Plus. I don't even have Paramount Plus, but
And you're just trucking them around town to get smokes and Whataburger. So, you're compounding the situation.
smokes. No. Yeah, so I tell my wife, I'm like, you're not gonna see me like that. Like if I'm not any more ambulatory than that, like he can get up and go drive around and stuff if he feels like it, but mostly he just gets winded going across the room. So I've told my wife, you're not going to see me like that. You're not going to see me in a wheelchair. You're not going to see me in an assisted living facility or in a hospice or anything. And no one's going to have any memory of me other than a healthy ambulatory, not to overuse the word, but a guy who can carry himself around at least. I may be old and gray and look like Santa Claus, but no one's going to see the disabled James. That's
All
not a thing.
right. All right. I think that's a solid play. That's good for you. Take yourself out before you become a burden. I'm polar opposite. I am looking forward to being a burden to my son. In fact, I tell him all the time, every time I do something for him, and he's like, "Thank you. I really appreciate it." I go, "No, here's what's going to happen. You're going to change my diaper and you're not going to bitch about it." And every time that we go to Chuck E. Cheese when I don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, or every time we go to Dave & Buster's when I don't want to go to Dave & Buster's, I give him this little spiel. I go, "That's fine, but you are going to do the heavy lifting when I become a burden. I will want the way you currently are a burden to me, wanting to go to Dave & Buster's during the 5th inning of a White Sox game. I'm trying to watch a game here, and you're going to take me away from that? Fine. I can't wait till I'm like 80, and you want to do something, and you got to go change dad's diapers and be nice about it." I look forward to being a burden. I look so forward to being a burden, James. I am going to be cremated, and I'm going to make my ancestors protect my ashes. I want my ashes to be on the mantle of all of my family members and to stay forever. And I want it to be like I will go see a gypsy on my deathbed, and I will put a curse on my ashes should they not take care of them.
100 years from now, no one on planet Earth will know you ever existed.
No, I'll have. Yeah, you're right. I was gonna say I'll have descendants, but they
No
don't
one
want to
will
know
know.
me. I don't know who.
Not in
Yeah,
100 years. No.
yeah. Well, that's okay. That's not. Man, it's kind of heavy when you put it that way, but
I've been tossing stuff around in my head.
yeah, that's pretty dark, dude. And I don't need you horning in on the whole depression, suicide thing. You don't have depression. That's our bit. We are the ones who struggle with that. I don't need some perfectly happy guy with a beautiful wife and nice kids and a living that you're making. I don't need you going into that direction. That's our terrain. That's for us.
Sure, but that's why when I say, like, if I win the lottery or come across a big sum of money, I would build a building that's going to be there 2,000 years from now. You know how I talk about
Yeah, you
it's
want your
going to be
pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah, pyramid, something solid stone like the Colosseum that's not on a freaking fault line like Rome is. But I just that is achieving some sense of immortality. If you can get a building to last for like 1,000 years, by then the people whoever are around here will be like, "Oh, this thing's 1,000 years old. Let's protect it forever." And so if you build it sturdy enough, you could have like just a glimpse of immortality in the form of this building, like a contribution.
Put your name all over it, I guess.
Oh, totally. Yeah. The Parker Dome.
Yeah, the Parker Dome. Okay, very good. All right, any more? Or is that pretty much it?
Yeah, existential thoughts from James.
Yeah, that's some pretty heavy stuff. All right, I got something I want to do here. I want to show you. Let's go back. So we found some more information here on the what's being called as the Hespeler Incident. Remember from last night?
That's our hero that ran around naked in the snow.
He is truly a hero, is he not? We have gotten a little bit of information about him. First of all,
I'm sorry to do this. Can I grab a beer?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, you've already seen it. I'll show it for the people that haven't seen it. And I'll wait. Let them go get a beer. All right. So if you were joining us on the High Noon Show, we showed the Hespeler Incident again. Hespeler, Ontario, Canada, where this all took place. And I still maintain that this is the best movie I've seen in the year 2022 so far. This is so incredible. We've gotten see, now I feel like James needs to be back for this. Where does he have to go for the beer? Does he have like a little cooler right there? I've also put some work in today. I've created a poem that I'm going to recite for our hero in this situation, the naked maniac of Hespeler, Ontario, Canada. And I'll be doing that. But I'm not sure that James or the rest of you are familiar with what AnnaLynne McCord did. AnnaLynne McCord, a couple of days ago, we played a little bit of her video. She made this incredibly, ridiculous. She wrote a poem for Vladimir Putin, juxtaposing that she were Vladimir Putin's mother. And it was so ham-fisted and so over the top. Hold on. TV just went on. Hold on. I got to leave too. I'll be right back. James will probably be back before me. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry. I got to turn this off. So that was timed almost perfectly for your beer run. The dog is on the floor in the bedroom where she sleeps. And sometimes when I'm not in the bedroom for a period of time, the dog will jump up on the bed and she starts to chew on the remote control. This is something that she does. Luckily, I got to her before, but in this case, she hit the remote control, which was on the bed where she jumped up on, and the sound came on and it was blasting from the other room. So I had to go handle that. I had to go turn the sound down, get her off the bed, although I just heard her jump back up. So I'm just going to have to live with that. All right. So we found some stories here on the Hespeler Maniac, the Hespeler Ontario Maniac, who we watched the other day. And just if you didn't see it, he's 40 years old. The video, James, can you hear me? I'm not sure. Am I on? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you sound fine.
I wasn't sure. The reason that there are some cuts in the video that we've watched is because he runs into a bar and spends about 10 minutes in a bar right around the corner naked, and he trashes the kitchen. And then someone from the bar calms him down enough that he gets into the car with the patron from the bar, and the patron drives him back to the action scene. That's how he suddenly winds up back at the scene, at which point he gets out of the customer's car, then gets into his car and drives away, where he is then pinned in by a police car and a tow truck, a police car that was it was a pickup truck, so we didn't recognize it as a police car at first. It was a pickup truck police car. A woman who you pointed out yesterday opens the passenger side door and climbs in and kind of stops the car, and he gets out and he runs. Now he's running up and down the street. He tried to get into the garage of the house whose Ring security system we're watching all of this on. He tries to get into the garage. The garage is open. He walks into the garage. He tries to get into the car. He wanted to sit in the car, but the door was locked. So then he leaves the garage and goes into the house. He actually rings the doorbell. And an old woman answers the door. That's when we hear the dog barking. An old woman answers the door. And he bowls her over. She went to the hospital. She was bowled over. He then runs to the living room and attempts to jump through the giant front window glass, but he bounces off the glass and into the arms of the husband, who is now wrestling with him on the floor. And that's when the firemen come in and carry him out, and he's laid naked on the snow. All right, so that's all we have. We still don't know what he was on. We know that he was charged with a whole bunch of things, like, just maniacal behavior and all of that. So here's what I want to do. Let's see. Let's watch this again. Okay, shall we? I've added a little music just to make it a little bit more fun, right? So here we go. All right, here's how it starts. Okay. Oh, he's naked. He's naked, guy. So this is where he walks into a bar. Apparently, this is the bar on the corner. He runs in there. Now a couple of minutes have passed. The ambulances have arrived. And you see he's in that silver SUV across the street behind the ambulance right now.
Okay.
That's the bar patron who drove him. And he's about to exit that. There he comes. He's getting out of that car.
Thanks for the ride, man. I appreciate it.
Got the blanket.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for a ride.
He's walking all calm, like nothing's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden, whoa! How about look at me naked, baby? Now he's getting back in the car. And the cops are telling him, "Hey, you can't. What? What do we do?" Somebody's filming.
I liked how that one guy has his mask on.
Okay, now here he goes. You see the fire truck trying to turn in. The one guy's following him. 2 guys following him. Apparently, this is a woman who tries to access or who actually gets the door open.
So this one grabbing the door right now. This is good for her.
As a woman, she's not afraid. She's Canadian. They're hardy people. All right, see the pickup truck behind them? That's a police car. And he's going to sort of just do that
that's
thing.
the truck that goes around. Yeah.
Yeah. So now he's pinned him in. And now there's
got
another...
some little blinky lights up there.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently they got... All right, he's out of the car. Police are obviously not, putting him in cuffs. And here he comes again.
Woo!
Here comes our guy.
Man, the Benny Hill theme, I think we were hearing this whether it was playing or not.
It's perfect. Benny Hill thing makes everything better. He's going to try and get into
I think he's wearing some drawers. He's wearing like a thong. There's like a panty line.
There he goes. All right.
That's far, buddy.
He's out of camera. Oh, here he comes. He's back. He's coming back.
Dude, I can't even go outside in shorts when it's 30 degrees.
He's Canadian, man. They're built different.
I know. That's they have a superpower I am not capable of. See, he's wearing drawers of some type. He's wearing some panties.
I don't think so. That's hair. That's crazy hair.
So is that not a panty line and that's a fat roll that goes all the way around?
That's a fat roll and a big... All right, now he's ringing the doorbell. And they open the doorbell and he tackles the lady. At this point, I think he's trying to jump out the window.
And the window holds him, right? Yeah.
Now they're in there. They're wrestling.
Man, I'm not sure if you want to jump through a window butt naked.
All right, there he is. He's back. Our hero.
I thought this is America. He looks like he's saying, I thought this is America. Even though he's in Canada.
Yeah, actually, no. Not America, my man. All right, that'll do it. There you go. How about that? How about a round of applause for him? He certainly deserves it.
Glad we got to the bottom of that mystery.
Well, there's still more to come. But here, I did a little something. I prepared something for us today. Are you familiar with the AnnaLynne McCord Dear Putin poem that she wrote?
Yeah, where she fantasizes that if she had breastfed Putin, he wouldn't be such a jerk.
Yeah. Now, do you know who AnnaLynne McCord is?
I know after the fact that she was in the reboot of 90210, and then she was in a couple other shows that I don't watch. So.
Well, I know her from Nip Tuck. She was Eden Lord.
Yeah, I never watched that.
Oh, she was like the bad girl high school slut who became a porn star, and she was nasty. All right, so this is her. This is her
dear President Vladimir Putin.
Let's listen.
Can I just say she's like a 10?
I'm so sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So much laughter and joy, and nothing would harm. I can't imagine the state.
How absurd this is. This is why.
Yeah, this is fantasy land, isn't it?
I always say, I say this over and over again, man. And I went to a college, I attended a university that was all acting girls. Actresses are the worst people you ever. This actress, this woman made whatever man is in her life hear about 50 different versions of this, and he had to sit through it while she emoted in different degrees and she presented it differently. Oh my God, actresses are just the worst. I mean, look, she's AnnaLynne McCord, so you put up with a lot, right? I mean, if you're
in pain that the little boy,
right, James, she's your girlfriend, you're willing to put up with more than maybe the average girl.
Well, that's the Bill Burr theory: is that the harder you are, the less criticism you've received, because everyone wants to be your friend, if not outright sleep with you.
Yeah, that's probably dead on. Absolutely. She has no idea how much a door weighs, because every door she's ever encountered has been opened for her. She just... They're like a feather, right? They're really light.
The world was cold, I'd have died to make you warm. I'd have died to protect you from the unjust, the violence, the terror, the uncertainty. I would have died to give you life.
Just the boyfriend.
Mr.
The boyfriend who I might point out, his snowboard skis are by the door. He's to put up with.
I love how incredibly narcissistic this is, because like you read about narcissists, and the one thing I don't understand about them is they take any situation, that, whether it's a friend's story or something they see in the news or even in a movie, and they can make anything about themselves.
Oh, God. Yes. She saw this as an opportunity for her. I don't know. I mean, is she so delusional that she didn't believe that the entire world would mock her? Does she not know what social media is all about? I mean, did she think that
Never crossed her mind. She thinks she's saying something really profound and deep.
God, your mother. Perhaps the torture of unwrit youth would not within your heart imbue a scripting to such fealty against that world.
Yeah, Anna. Hey, what would you do? What do you think could stop the greatest land invasion in Europe since World War II? Oh, my left titty.
I just want some hipster dude to poke his head out of this door and go, "Hey, baby, what's the Wi-Fi password?" Just totally interrupt her in her flow. And what do you make of this apartment? Like, it's probably a nice apartment. I mean, it's a really nice. It would fit her in her state as a regular on a TV series if this is on like the 60th floor. You know what I mean? Like if it's got like a crazy good view. But if that's
and
just
it probably is. It's probably in a really cool building, and it's probably like 12 stories up, and it probably used to be like a sugarcane processing factory, or they used to sew together blue jeans or something useful with it, and now they just repurposed it for people like her.
Do you feel bad for her at all that she is
No,
she's
beautiful and she's rich and she's successful, and she's not really that. She's not necessarily stupid as much as she is just delusional, because she can write poetry and hold complex thoughts in her head. They're just the wrong thoughts.
It's not that they're the wrong thoughts. It's the wrong presentation. It is so self-absorbed.
Perhaps you would hold
my love could have fixed Putin.
Instead of Mother Russia, you would call me, and I would set your mind right.
Right. Okay. So the conceit of the whole thing is a bit squirrely to begin with. So yeah, I agree with you. This idea that she would be.
I tell you who's got to be really pissed is Putin's mom's still alive, because she'd be like, "Screw you."
Right. I raised one of the world's most powerful men, honey.
I raised literally the richest man in the world.
Right.
Love that only a mother can give, and only a mother can take away. When holds, she doesn't the harm at bay and leaves her born.
Oh my God, this is like out of a bad acting class.
It is. This is someone's soliloquy.
I can't imagine how it feels in your
for final
but
grade.
I know if I was your mother, that would be a start towards the awareness of what a powerful being of light you could be if your mind was only free from the violence you've seen when you were just 2 or 3. I cannot believe I was born too late.
To be your mother.
In a different place when I would have loved you so, watched you play wherever you go.
All right, young lady, that was great. Thank you, AnnaLynne McCord. All right, so the reason.
Well, wait.
If I was your mother, you would have been so loved.
What?
She keeps going.
Yeah. No, it ended. It restarted. You just wait. It had an ending. It wasn't a great ending, but yeah.
So we saw that.
So I was, it started trending again this afternoon, and I started reading some of the comments, and some of them are so funny. But what's this? What are we doing?
Oh, it's just a reference that Bill Burr, 3 minutes.
Yeah, we can't play it. What is it off?
Oh, it's off one of his specials. You're right. It would get a copyright violation.
I think we're already in trouble with the Benny Hill theme. But I appreciate the on-the-fly producing. So I had this idea. Why can't we write "If I Was Your Mother" poems for just every time somebody does something ridiculous. Why wouldn't that fit? Why can't we just do it? Why is it just for Putin? Why can't we? And James, because I am a creative, I sat down today and I wrote If I Was Your Mother to the Hespeler Ontario car crash maniac. And I would like to perform that for you. And I would like to perform it in my best AnnaLynne McCord style. Would you be willing to listen to it?
Yeah, dude. Does it need like a little violin or something?
Oh. Well, I don't think. Yeah, because there's fallback. I get fallback in my ear. I hear. I double it. Oh, but you know what? Maybe I can do something. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Jake. Hold on. This one might. James, take me off. All right, here we go.
Took it off. Sorry.
This one will work.
Nice.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Young and the Restless.
Nadia's theme. All right. Let me work this. Let me get into the right headspace. Let me direct again. I wish I had a blonde wig, but I don't. Dear rampaging naked Hespeler Ontario car crash guy, I'm sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been loved, held in the arms of joyous light, never in need of naked flight. Your privates unfurled before our eyes, your tiny size, surely shrunken due to the cold, and your chubby monkey thighs. If I was your mother, that day would have been warm. So much laughter and joy and no global scorn. I can't imagine the stain, the soul-stealing pain of seeing your flopping frozen member again and again. And the formulation of thought quickly taught that you were the pervert the whole town sought. Is this why you did decide no one will arrest you? Is this why you run, fight, hide, and all the neighbors detest you? Was it because you were running away from the home of your mistress? Was this the reason in such a season you showed the world your business? If I was your mother, if the world was cold, I'd have swaddled your body in a blanket. And do tell me the reason for this uncivil treason. James Parker believes 'twas to spank it. If only I'd been your mother, you'd have surrendered without incident. I'd have told you that hoe'd get you cuffed in the snow, and then there probably would never have been an accident. If I was your mother and the world was cold, you'd have made better choices and not been so bold. If I were your mother and the day was so snowy, you'd have been wearing some pants and not been so showy. If I were your mother and the world was frozen, I'd honestly kill myself based on the choices you've chosen. If I were your mother, how could I explain that the chaos caused came from my son who's insane? Would not within your heart imbue the shame your friends and family are due? Because of your actions that Saturday noon, they now all get looks like their kid's a freaking loon. Yes, because of your actions in snowy Hespeler, they're all being treated like they've raised a molester. Instead of breaking and entering and carousing like an idiot, next time just call me and maybe we'll figure it. And I would set your mind quite free with the love that only a mother can be and only a mother can take away. And if the press should ask, you've got nothing to say. I can't imagine how it feels in your heart. This is honestly more humiliating than that girl who sells her farts. If I were your mother and I knew you were odd, I'd have bought you a gym membership to tone your misshapen bod. Yes, if I was your mother, the events of that day would never have happened, certainly not in that way. Alas, it is true. Your mother I am not. Whoever she is, you got what she got. Oh, sure, much of this nonsense cannot be genetic. She probably smoked, drugged, and drank the whole time she was pregnant. If I was your mother.
It's the best poem I've ever heard.
Can I get some snaps?
Jazz hands.
I think that's a good way to go out.
That was amazing, Pugs.
I pledge that I will now do that for every absurd person that comes into the news. I will make another If I Were Your Mother poem.
I love it. Look, I'm not a big fan of poems, so that might be the best poem I've ever heard besides Whitey's on the Moon.
Well, thank you. I do. I appreciate it. I just felt it was appropriate. I just felt that he needs to be memorialized in some way. And
well, I felt like it came from the heart, is what I felt.
It did. It did. I even got your name worked in there.
Oh, and I love a good name drop. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I like that. It was hard to get your name in there, but the rhyme that I chose, because I wanted Spank It in there, which because you said that's why he was in the car naked, because he was spanking it.
So I stand by that, but yeah.
Needed to get your name in there. It was if I was your mother, if the world was so cold, I'd have swaddled your body in a blanket. And do tell me the reason for this uncivil treason. James Parker believes 'twas to spank it. I thought that one was good. I thought that
was to spank it.
Was. I had to put 'twas in there. Otherwise, the iambic pentameter
was followed by an infinitive verb. That's hilarious.
'Twas to spank it. Mm-hmm. All right, James, it's 10 o'clock. I guess we're done.
Hey, is there anything I need to know about Ukraine? Because I hadn't really been keeping up with it. I just ask you every day.
Well, we're going to do some headlines. Let me give you the headlines. You can bail out anytime you want, but that's what I was going to do here with the last 10 minutes or so that I was going to be on here. We're going to do a little bit. All right, let's pull back up the...
Did anybody beat up Vitaly Klitschko or whatever it is?
No. Vitaly still seems to be doing pretty good. He's he gave an interview yesterday on TV. Let's find us a good cam while we're reading all of this.
I'm surprised at how many of these people speak English. I know that that's the only ones they're going to show us, but...
Well, Vitaly spent a lot of time in America.
I'm glad we had such a good influence.
Like, he was dating... I don't know if it was him. One of the Klitschkos was dating the actress girl that was on that show Nashville for like a while. What was her name?
Vladimir Klitschko? Oh,
I can't
Connie
remember.
Britton?
No. The young one.
Oh,
the young one who was also in Heroes.
His loss. I would have gone for Connie Britton.
Hold on. All right, Nashville TV show. I'll get you his name. I'll get you. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got to find out which one was dating her, because that's a good score. And you probably got to learn English. What was her name? Hayden Panettiere. Don't you remember her?
Yeah. I'm sure I know her if I saw her.
Hold on.
Michael knows. Look over there in the comments. He popped that one up.
What did he say?
Hayden Panettiere.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right, let's go to her personal life. Let's see who it was. She was dating one of the Klitschkos.
Oh, yeah. I know this chick. I just looked her up.
Oh, she did. Okay, she was dating the non-mayor. She was dating Wladimir Klitschko. Wladimir. Not the other one. All right, let's get into some of the...
Lord.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's pretty amazing, man. She's pretty fantastic.
10.
I know you threw out the Connie Britton, which is fine, but this is it's a different game. This is Hayden Panettiere. It's a little different.
I feel silly now.
All right, let me give you the quick headlines here from the war. James, feel free to chime in at any moment with whatever it is that you feel is appropriate to say. Breaking: Ukrainian officials confirm that Russia has captured the city of Kherson. It's the first major city in Ukraine that they have actually gained some semblance of control over. A MiG-21 Lancer of the Romanian Air Force crashed in Constantana County. The Ministry of Defense of Romania has confirmed the fact that it was a crash. The preliminary cause of the crash is adverse weather conditions. Now, In addition to this crash, 40 minutes after the disappearance of the Lance R. MiG jet, an IAR-330 Puma helicopter flew out to search for them, but the connection with him was also lost. Later, it became known that the helicopter also crashed. There were 5 people on board the helicopter. So this is why this is a big deal. This was a Romanian jet flying the border, just patrolling there, the border of them and the Ukraine, and it went down. And they said that it was a weather-related thing. Romania is a NATO nation, okay? I don't know how quick they would be to say that it accidentally flew into Ukrainian airspace and got into something with a Russian jet, and now we've got World War III. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it seems so weird that they
have reason to lie about this.
They have reason to.
Hello. I see freeze. I am frozen. Bob sees freeze. Byron sees a freeze. It's everyone frozen but me. Give him a second. He can come back. He can come back and assume his spot. We know how these things work now. We're getting better. We are getting better. Hello. He never comes back. It's over. Okay. So I should just leave then. I think if I just sit in his session, he can use the same link he sent me. There, send him that. Yes, that speaker wire. See, it's got like a guitar cable. In fact, this is a guitar cable. These are like microphone cords or anything. XLR to 1/4 inch. All right, I resent him the link. See if he gets that. If not, I'll be getting out of here. Yeah, I mean, I'm clearly an amateur musician, but I play instruments and stuff. All right, later, guys. Sorry it died on us. See you tomorrow.